We were sold a lie. For years, we were told that governance tokens actually give us the ownership, that the DAOs control the protocol, and that the community is king. Well. AAVE just proved this is total BS. While you were sleeping, a secret switch was flipped to divert revenue away from the token holders and straight into the private company's pockets. This is a full-on inside civil war. It involves a missing $10 million, a hostile takeover vote that was launched in the middle of the holidays, and a battle that is destroying the price of the biggest DeFi giant. Today we're breaking down the AAVE crisis, because if they cannot survive the house that's divided, neither can your portfolio. But to understand this war, you need to understand the battlefield itself. AAVE is split into two sides. On one side we have AAVE DAO, that's the token holders, the governors. On the other side we have AAVE Labs. This part is centralized. It is a company run by the founder Stani. Normally they work together, they go hand in hand, but on December 4th this year, that trust broke. AAVE Labs announced a partnership with CowSwap to improve pricing on the interface. That sounds great. It means better swaps, it means less MEV, a win-win situation for everyone. Except that someone started looking at the on-chain data. On December 11th, a delegate named DeFi Ezreal dropped the bombshell on Twitter. He found out that the swap fees from the new contract were not going back to the DAO treasury. They were being routed to a private wallet controlled by the guys from AAVE Labs. And we're talking about an estimate of $10 million per year. This is money that actually should, belong to the protocol itself, the DAO, and it is quietly being siphoned away to the company's pockets. Mark Zeller, which is one of the largest delegates of AAVE DAO, immediately went online and called it what it was, which is stealth privatization. The revenue stream was cut and the DAO wasn't even asked about it. If this was just about the money itself, it would be as bad, but it turned even worse. It turned almost into a nuclear war because the community did not just complain, they went and fired back. What was the proposal? Well, on October 16th, a proposal started flying around the DAO. They called for a poison pill. These demands are crazy. They wanted to seize all the AAVE IP and branding. They wanted to force AAVE Labs to become a subsidiary of the DAO instead of being two separate entities. And they wanted also to claw back every cent of their revenue that they lost. And AAVE Labs actually tried, to fight back. The response was, you own the smart contracts and we own the website. We can do whatever we want with the website as long as it's not harmful. They actually argued that the front end is a private product and they can monetize it however they want it. But then things started to go a little crazy because amidst all this chaos, AAVE Labs launched a snapshot vote on December 23rd. Right now, a little bit before Christmas. The proposal looked like it was giving power back to the community. It was promised to transfer brands' assets back into the DAO, but there was a little catch. The author of the proposal, a guy called Ibo Adam, came out and said that he never ever approved this. He claims that AAVE Labs used his name to vote while everyone was away for the holidays. He called it disgraceful and untasteful. It is a classical political trick. Force a vote when something else big is happening and there's, for example, a Christmas dinner happening. We saw this not only in DeFi but also in politics, with a huge news covering up what actually mattered and politicians voting for things that the masses wouldn't have approved if they had more eyes on that matter. And the crypto market also does not like this kind of things. Since this war started, AAVE has been bleeding a lot. The token dropped down double digits overnight. A single whale dumped $37 million worth of AAVE tokens. Why? Because investors are realizing the hard truth that AAVE is proving that the decentralized protocol is very fragile when a centralized company holds the keys to the website. Now we have a few scenarios. The first one is that if Labs wins, it sets the precedence that the DAO is just, a rubber stamp and it doesn't mean much. If the DAO wins, it means they will own a brand, but they will not own a team behind it because all the devs were part of Labs and not of the DAO. Of course, that can be solved, but you wouldn't have the same team that made such a good product in the first place. As Lincoln said, a house divided against itself cannot stand. And right now, this AAVE house is actually caught in fire. It's actually a full-on fire. And until we know how they decide who actually owns the keys, the holders or the holders, everything is going to keep burning and it's going to hurt also your portfolio as well. Now, I want to hear that from you. Who do you think has the rights to keep these fees? Is it AAVE Labs because they built the website, or was this an actual theft from, the DAO itself? Let me know in the comments below. I read all the comments, so don't forget to comment. And while there, like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss the next videos. But before we end, let me actually show you how AAVE has been bleeding so far, which most of it comes not only from the AAVE itself, the AAVE thing. If we go to the weekly, you can see 19% dropped in a single week. We were almost at $200 just 7 days ago, and now we're around 150 bucks. So of course, a lot of people might say, well, this is also because of that situation that the market's not doing so good right now. And I agree, this makes it even worse for this huge fire that is going on right now. But as I said, we have whales, we have huge holders that are selling their bags right now because they don't want to be part of DeFi place, or the DeFi place, which is very well known everywhere in DeFi, if they know that there's a huge part of it that is centralized. So that's not what they want. Why would they still be holders and, major holders of the AAVE token? It doesn't make sense. But also we can see that the fear and greed index has been trying to recover a little bit. So this goes to say that AAVE is not tanking because the market's just, bad, but the market is actually trying to react positively. So we know that this AAVE fall that we have is not only because of Bitcoin going down, of the markets not reacting, but also because of this inside crisis that we are having. What do you think is the best way? Should we short AAVE? Should you sell your AAVE if you have any? I never believed in the governance token. Every governance token that we had so far, they always go to zero. So I've never held a governance token for more, than speculation purposes. So I see a lot of people saying that now is the good time to buy the token because it is super undervalued. Other people are saying that they're going to sell everything they have. Other people are just trying to trade on top of it to speculate if it's going to go down more, if it's going to go up more. But I'm personally going to sit this one out. Hopefully the DAO is able to resolve the situation. But I want to know, what do you think is the best thing to do, or is the worst and the best case scenario for all of this? Best case scenario is that they have an agreement, they continue as is, but now they have maybe a revenue split. I don't know how AAVE Labs makes its money, and I don't know if the DAO actually funds AAVE Labs, but I'm sure the best scenario is to de-escalate this instead of having, a huge conflict that removes AAVE Labs from the picture itself. I don't think that's the best case. But that's just me. Let me know down in the comments what you believe. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully we're having a good Christmas and not a red Christmas at AAVE with the AAVE folk. Hopefully they can solve it. So thank you very much. Next video is going to be after Christmas. So have a blessed Christmas. I'll see you guys on Friday for another video. Always here on the topics. Take care.